Hi, this is Susan Frank, and I'm here at the International Green Industry Hall of Fame induction ceremony and conference. And we're very fortunate to have one of our Hall of Fame speakers with us, Tom Lollini, who is the campus architect for UC Merced. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about this campus. It's as I understand it, LEED Gold is the minimum certification here on campus. You've received lots of accolades for what you've done here. Tell us a little bit about the campus's commitment to sustainability and how that translates into reductions in terms of energy use and emissions.
Okay, well, and one of the founding principles of the campus was that it was going to be a sustainable place. The LEED certification system had just come out about the time they were designing the first buildings. And so the target at the time was LEED Silver, which was a step above basic LEED certification. What we were able to achieve in the actual implementation of the program actually was we got gold on virtually 11 of our first 12 buildings. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to set LEED Gold as a minimum and strive for platinum on every project, right? So that's sort of one baseline, mm-hmm. but there's a sort of a larger sustainability ethic of what we're trying to accomplish. So we're not only building a campus, we're building a community for up to 30,000 people. And the idea is that the community and the campus together will sort of meet each other's environmental needs, right? So most people will be able to walk to or take a bike to do just about 90% of their daily business. And the idea is that then you leave the place when you're going to do something, you know, outside, but you leave it in a sustainable way as well. So we plan transit systems, walking paths, bike trails, and all that to make it much easier to get around by foot or by bicycle than by car.
You've worked on other campuses. You've worked at UC Berkeley. You've worked in North Africa and Southeast Asia. How is UC Merced different? How do you approach a campus like this in comparison to other projects that you've worked on?
Yeah, you know, it's a good question. There's been a lot of greenfield development in other parts of the world, or desert development, as you might say, in the Middle East and in Phoenix. But here, you know, this is you know, the world's breadbasket, right? I mean, you grow 90% of the world's food supply types of food can be grown here. So we wanted to connect this to the valley in a different way and connect it to the regional environment, right? So our buildings are designed to take advantage of all that sun when you want it, and to shade, you know, to protect the buildings from the sun when you don't want the heat, and to protect the pedestrians as well. So that's why we have arcades, that's why we have lots of windows, but we have lots of shading devices across the faces of the buildings. So it kind of creates its own unique architecture by designing for the regional environment that you're part of. Water, of course, is another huge issue in the Central Valley. And so we've designed our whole campus so that we're using 40% less water than a typical development of this scale might use. And half of that water will ultimately be from non-potable sources. So again, we're trying to speak to the issues that are important both globally and regionally in the development of the campus.
Today's event is all about building and supporting green industries and recognizing companies and individuals for their accomplishments. And I'm wondering what is your personal view about the importance of greening our businesses and our communities?
Well, one thing I didn't mention during the speech I gave was I was actually at the first Earth Day, and I went in a Volkswagen bus, so I've been at this a long time in a lot of different ways over the course of my life. I think that the one thing about that Merced, I think, is a demonstration project that if you really set your goals high and you hire people who carry the same passion for what you're trying to achieve, that you actually get farther than you ever imagined you could by setting those goals high, and that you do it through a process of instilling hope and desire in people rather than fear. And I think that that's probably the strongest message there is for the industry.
Well, thanks, Tom. Those were inspiring remarks. We're really fortunate to have you here today. And again, this is Tom Lollini, who's the campus architect here at UC Merced, and one of our Hall of Fame speakers, and now a lifetime honoree of the International Green Industry Hall of Fame.
I'm very honored. Thank you.